Here we go, College Football Payoff Podcast. We are bowl season part 2. I'm Dan. That's Big Country over there. And
35th episode.
35th episode. There you go. Part 2 of our bowl previews, I guess.
Bowl season.
Bowl season, part 2. All right, where we left off last time was with the games through Wednesday, December 22nd. So we are going to jump right into it. Thursday, the 23rd, and we are going through basically a week. Thursday to Wednesday, the 29th. Again, the spreads that we are getting now probably could change. So, take it whatever way you want to. But as we look at it, this is instant. This is what we feel, and we'll give you leans or locks. Last episode, I think we gave you 4 locks. Yeah, we gave you 4 locks a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we had 1 lock that was unanimous. So we'll see. All right, let's just jump right in. You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Starting it off, we are going to go Thursday, the 23rd. Frisco Football Classic. So this actually doesn't say a bowl game. It just says Frisco Football Classic. I don't know. Frisco, Texas, Miami of Ohio, North Texas. MAC against Conference USA, 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. Miami, a 3-point favorite. Total set at 54. I mean, I really don't know much about this game.
I have a lock for this game.
Well, take it away.
All right, North Texas +3 all day. They started the season 1-6. They've won 5 straight to reach bowl eligibility, giving UTSA their only loss of the year to reach bowl eligibility, and beating them by 23 points or 22 points. Miami, on the other hand, 6-6 in a very weak MAC schedule. Their wins come against Bowling Green, Buffalo, Ball State, and then Akron. Man, who else? Oh, and an FCS Long Island University. So, I mean, just a team that has been mediocre all year. I think North Texas is on that 5-game win streak, and beating UTSA is trending higher than they ever have all season. So I think it's just pretty easy for me. I think North Texas is going to cover this pretty easily.
Well, you were pretty confident with it, so I'll lean with you as well. But I'm also going to lean towards the over 54. I think this game has a chance to just be an aerial shootout, and 3:30 in Texas with a team from Ohio going against a team from Texas. It just seems to me like that's a shootout type of game. So I'll lean with you, but there you go. You got our first lock into part 2. Did not take long. All right. Sticking with December 23rd, Thursday, we got the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. SEC, ACC, it's Florida against UCF in Tampa, Florida, 7 p.m., ESPN. Florida is a 6.5-point favorite. Total is set at 56.5. So we got a game in Florida with 2 Florida teams, and I'm sure UCF is still thinking that they're better than Florida. It feels like kind of a rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it is, though. I don't know if it is an actual rivalry, but yeah. Florida game. I'm leaning UCF in this one.
Yeah, man. For me, this is just a complete stay-away game. If Dan Mullen was still a coach, I'd definitely be going with Central Florida here because, as history shows, Florida does not care about games that when they're out and they're not able to achieve their goals for the season, they just don't care anymore. But they do have a brand-new head coach, and he's a really good head coach, Billy Napier from Louisiana. Man, I just don't. I know Gus Malzahn, head coach of UCF, is very familiar with the SEC, obviously being the former head coach of Auburn. I just don't know if he's going to have the talent to keep this a game. Man, this is just tough for me because you don't know what type of. There's different motivations, different head coaches coming in. So, I mean, I'd label this as maybe one of the biggest stay-away games for me in bowl season.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to stay. I'm actually not going to lean either side there as well, just because the coaches and the history between how the teams have played. Looking at the total, 56.5. I could see it going. I'm gonna lean with the over in that, over 56.5, just so I can give a play on everything. Do you have a lean on that, or just nothing at all?
I mean, I'd
pick
go
something.
if I had to lean, it'd be over. But
Sweet, there we go. So we're leaning again. Leans are not podcast locks. Everyone, do not get mad at us.
Don't get mad in my DMs about leans. You can about locks though.
All right, we got Christmas Eve, Friday the 24th, Easy Post, Hawaii Bowl, Memphis.
This bowl game sucks.
Yep, Memphis against Hawaii in Hawaii, 8 p.m. ESPN. Memphis is a 7.5-point favorite. Total is 56.5. So far, these three games do not look appealing. Well, the one looked appealing to you, but these don't look appealing to me. I mean, Hawaii being an underdog on their own territory, kind of.
And Hawaii's only 6-7 this year in a bowl, and they still got the invite to this bowl. Because it's in Hawaii, so it's pretty cheap for them to go. They'll have a good traveling fan base that'll buy tickets. So I see the business move there, but you never know what you're going to get with Hawaii. They beat good Wyoming team, they beat a good Colorado State team, and then they lose to UNLV. Terrible team, fraud offense. So they lose, but what are you going to get? Are you going to get a team that lose to ranked San Diego State by 7 or UNLV by 14? I mean, I just don't know where to project this team's numbers at. Statistically, they're very similar. If I had to lean, even with how shitty Hawaii, or at least volatile Hawaii has been, I'd have to lean Hawaii plus the 7.5 points, because on the other side of the ball, you don't know what type of Michigan team you're going to get either.
Memphis.
Excuse me, Memphis. Yeah, exactly. That's how much I don't care about this game. So,
I mean, I'm leaning Hawaii just because it's in Hawaii. That's the only reason that I really lean towards this team, is because they're playing in their time zone and Memphis has to fly across an ocean. All right. Man, these games. Christmas Day, Tax Act, Camellia Bowl, Ball State.
I'll be watching this from Florida.
Ooh.
Very relaxing because I have a lock for this one.
Ooh, all right. Ball State, Georgia State, MAC against Sunbelt, Montgomery, Alabama, 2:30 p.m. Christmas Day, ESPN. Georgia State, 4.5-point favorites. The total set at 49.5. What do you got for me?
I got Georgia State minus 4.5.
Ooh, okay.
I think all MAC teams this bowl season are getting ran on. MAC was so weak this year. They were by far the weakest conference. And Georgia State's a team that finished really, really strong this year. They went 4-1 out of the last 5 games. Georgia State, they beat Georgia Southern, rivalry game. Lost to University of Louisiana by 4. Very good game there. Ended up beating Coastal at Coastal. Ended up handling Arkansas State and ended up beating Troy pretty easily. I just think they're trending in the right direction, while we can see a Ball State team who only won against teams that were pretty shitty in the MAC this year on a very down year for the MAC. I think they have the tools to cover this 4.5.
Lock it up for me as well. Georgia State minus 4.5.
And I think it's going to be a run-heavy game.
Yep. Let me write this down real quick, and then I'll get into it. All right. Georgia State minus 4.5. This is a podcast lock for me as well. Talking about their last game against Troy, they had 387 total yards, 247 of which were on the ground. I mean, they're 5.7 yards per play, and like you said, the MAC was just atrocious. It was a terrible conference. Georgia State 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 after a straight-up win. 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 overall. 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 as a favorite. And Ball State is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 overall. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 bowl games. And 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 on turf. Ball State has to travel south. Georgia State stays south. And I love it. I love Georgia State minus 4.5 as a lock. There we go. All right. The 27th, Monday, Quick Lane Bowl, Western Michigan, Nevada. Again, it's MAC against Mountain West. Now, this is in Detroit, Michigan. 11 a.m. kickoff. ESPN, Western Michigan, 4.5-point favorite. Total set at 56.5. Are you leaning away from the MAC as well in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to lock up Nevada minus 5.5.
Locking it up. Jeez. All right.
Nevada's a really good offense, man. And Western Michigan being so volatile and the results they give us on a week-by-week basis, they can they let Akron give them a game. They lost Central Michigan, who they were better than this year, and then they end up beating the MAC champ by 20 points, by 3 touchdowns. Man, who knows who we're getting? I think Nevada's going to be able to handle them, though, because of their high-flying offense. They take care of business when it needs to be done. 8-4 season, a 9-win Nevada team would be huge for the program. It's pretty easy for me. I'm a big Carson Strong fan too. He has got 36 touchdowns on the year through the air with only 8 interceptions. I can trust him, so I think it's pretty easy for me. Nevada minus 5.5.
5.5.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, if it's a lock for you, I'm going to go ahead and lean that way as well. I don't need to say much. You pretty much know what you're talking about. Military Bowl. Again, 27th on a Monday. Boston College, East Carolina. ACC against AAC in Annapolis, Maryland. 2:30 kickoff. ESPN. Boston College, 3-point favorites. Total set at 51. Do you have a lock here?
Is Djokovic playing? Or Jerkovic?
Let me check. I believe he is. It doesn't look like he is.
Yeah, I'm just going to pass on this game all around. The line's telling me that he's not playing.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's playing.
I like Holden Ahlers over at Eastern Carolina. This is just a stay away for me. If I had to pick, maybe I'd go over, but I think this is dead on without Jerkovic playing.
Okay, so you're just going to lean with the over.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jerkovic is not playing, which everything I read here says he isn't, and Ahlers is, I like Ahlers, so I'm going to lean towards East Carolina in this one, +3. Maybe even win it. I don't know. I haven't really looked too much into money lines, just because I was looking at all these, so that might actually be a money line pick for me. You know what? Money line, East Carolina.
It's big.
Fuck it, do it. All right. Let's see here. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Well, not really. Tuesday the 28th, Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl, Houston, Auburn, AAC against SEC, Birmingham, Alabama, noon kickoff, ESPN. Auburn's a 3.5-point favorite, total set at 51. Lock, lean, what do you got?
Man, this is probably just another stay away for me.
Yep.
I'm not going to be able to pick. Who knows what we're going to get? Houston, I don't trust Dana Holgerson. Outside of that one BCS bowl game he had with a team that he didn't recruit when he was at West Virginia, he never really performed well in the bowl games. Easy for me to just pass here. Bo Nix is gone from Auburn. They're starting somebody else, like they did towards the back end of the season, Finley. This is just a toss-up, so I'm going to stay away. An 11-2 Houston team against a very mediocre SEC team is still a very close game. So,
yeah,
my lean, I guess, would be Auburn, but who knows?
I'm probably going to lean towards the under. Just because I watched that Houston-Cincinnati game, and they had that. It was literally one bad quarter against Cincinnati. And then other than that, they looked pretty good. And, I could see this just being either you could call it hard-nosed or you could call it sloppy. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of points being scored. And for some reason, I just feel Auburn's defense is going to get dialed in, and Houston is going to want to make a statement against an SEC school, so they're going to try everything that they can to at least keep it close.
Exactly.
And to keep it close, you got to play defense. So I'm leaning towards the under 51 in this one. Okay, Serve Pro, First Responder Bowl, Air Force, Louisville, Mountain West, ACC in Dallas, Texas, 3:15 kick on ESPN. Tuesday, December 28th. Louisville is a 1.5-point favorite. Totals at 55.5. Anything?
Yeah, no lock here. I would honestly probably lean with the Air Force plus 1.5 here. Louisville does pretty well against teams that aren't good. I think Air Force is pretty decent, and they're going to be looking for a 10-win season, probably have the best record out of any military academy this year. I just think Louisville might just show up and be happy to be there, while I think Air Force is going to be there to play. So if you caught me leaning, it would be with Air Force plus 1.5.
Service Academy, I'm going to be leaning with the under 55.5 in this one.
Nice.
Okay, AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Tuesday the 28th. Texas Tech, Mississippi State, Big 12 against SEC. Memphis, Tennessee, 6:45 kick on ESPN. Mississippi State, 8.5-point favorite. Totals at 59.5. Let's see. Did you have anything?
Which one?
Texas Tech, Mississippi State.
No, man. Texas Tech, brand new coaching staff, but high-flying offense. If I had to go, and the Texas Tech gave Baylor a pretty good game towards the end of the year, Big 12 champ. Man, I don't know what Mississippi State's feeling after that Egg Bowl loss, and I don't really know about Mike Leach in bowl games. I mean, I don't really have any data on him. This is just another one that's just a weird game to me. Two mediocre teams that are hovering around 500 that you just never knew what you were going to get in and week out this year. So if I had to lean, it would probably be with Mississippi State minus that 8.5 due to just the possible dysfunction we're seeing at Texas Tech. But on the other hand, Texas Tech could get up for the new coach they have now. So who the hell knows? Pretty clear pass game for me.
Well, I'm going to lean the over 60 in this one. Over is 4-1 in Mississippi State's last 5 games overall, 6-2 in Mississippi State's last 8 bowl games, and 8-1 in Texas Tech's last 9 bowl games. I can just see this being a classic Big 12 shootout game with Mississippi State thrown in as well. So, over, what did I say, 60? No, over 59.5. Okay. That was the Liberty Bowl. This is the SDCCU Holiday Bowl, UCLA, NC State, Pac-12, ACC, San Diego, California, 8 o'clock kick on Fox. NC State is a 1-point favorite. The total is 59.5. Let me pull it up. All right. Do you have a lock?
I don't have a lock, no.
Another stay away?
If I had a lean here, it'd be with UCLA. I think Chip Kelly has made his allegiance to that university pretty clear here in the last couple weeks with turning down a couple different job offers, including Oregon. I love DTR. I think he's going to go out on a high note. But this NC State team is nothing to mess with.
Yep.
So I think this line is, I had it at a pick'em. It's NC State -1 right now. I don't think there's much value in taking UCLA, but that's definitely where I'd lean.
Yeah, I'm leaning NC State -1 in this one. Like you said, it could be a pick'em, but I think NC State getting a win in their rivalry game against North Carolina, I just think that they're going to be a little more amped up for this game going into California to play. And UCLA, I don't know, something about Pac-12 teams are just kind of, they rub me the wrong way. NC State 8-3-1 against the spread in their last 12 bowl games, 13-6 against the spread in their last 19, and 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 after an against the spread loss. While UCLA is 2-5 in their last 7, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. So NC State -1 is a lean for me, and you're leaning the other way. Okay, Guaranteed Rate Bowl.
Finally.
Here we go. West Virginia, Minnesota, Big 12, Big 10. Phoenix, Arizona, 10:15. Wow, 10:15 on a Tuesday night. ESPN, that's rough for you. Minnesota -3.5. Total set at 44.5. I know you got a lock for this.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I love the Mountaineers, but I'm going Minnesota minus 3.5.
Oh, damn.
A little reverse on you.
Wow.
Yeah, man. This Mountaineer team is just their offensive production has just been very unimpressive to me all year. Statistically, this team is very similar to Minnesota, but Minnesota's defense is unreal. And with an already struggling Mountaineer offense that struggled against Texas, struggled against Kansas even the last game of the year, even though those games were both wins, they had to have a couple things go their way. I think PJ Fleck is a bowl game guy. I think he's a guy that's always going to have his guys ready to play in the postseason. They finished the season with beating a very good Wisconsin team, and they allowed less than 300 yards on offense. So, man, I think they're going to run it down their throats, and I think a touchdown is definitely a doable margin to win by. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Gophers minus 3.5 here.
I got a lock in this game as well. But it's not a side.
Total.
The lock is under 44.5 in this game.
I lean that way.
I mean, you said it, but Minnesota, Ohio State played them early. Minnesota's defense is going to be good. PJ Fleck always gets up for bowl games, and the defense is just solid. And with West Virginia not being able to do much on offense. Yeah, and I just, like I said, Minnesota is... They're stingy defense. West Virginia's offense is just not where it's at. So we got two locks in this one. We got your lock is Minnesota minus 3.5. Mine is the under 44.5 in this game. Okay, let's see here. What else do we got? 4 games left. Wasabi Fenway Bowl. This is the first Fenway Bowl game. Wednesday, the 29th of December, Virginia against SMU, AAC. At Fenway, 11 a.m., ESPN. Virginia is a 2.5-point favorite, and the total is set at 70.5. You got a play in this one. A lean. What do you got?
Man, just a lean. I was thinking about locking it up, but I'm going to lean with Virginia minus 2. This is going to be a shootout. Brendan Armstrong and Tanner Mordecai, both the quarterback here for SMU, and Virginia, both pretty weak defenses and very high-powered throwing offenses. With that total being 71, I don't think I can pull the trigger. Maybe I will come game time, but man, this is going to be a stay away just because I think this game could go many different ways, but I know there's going to be a lot of points scored and a lot of passes, very few rushing yards in this game. So I don't know if they're going to be able to eat the clock up. Maybe that's going to push me more towards the over, but I'm going to stay away.
Well, I'm locking it.
Uh-oh.
I'm locking the over 70. What did I say it was? I said 70.5, but I think it's 71.
Yep, 71.
Over 71. These games in baseball stadiums tend to score a lot of points. Virginia, SMU is 13th in total offense. They 10th in scoring offense. Virginia's 3rd in total offense. 2nd in passing offense. 22nd in scoring offense. Neither team has a good defense. And these games at baseball stadiums tend to score a lot of points. I don't know what it is. But with Fenway, I'm trying to picture how the field's going to be up. But for some reason, I feel like if the Green Monster is to one side of the stadium and they're kicking into the stands, which they should be, I don't know. I feel like it's more enclosed. It's going to feel weird, but baseball stadiums tend to get a lot of points. I'm locking over 71 in this game.
Nice.
Okay, another baseball stadium game. New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Virginia Tech, Maryland, ACC Big Ten in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium, 2:15 on ESPN, Wednesday the 29th. This is a pick, and the total set at 54.5. With Maryland, Maryland's another one of those teams that you never know what you're going to get. They could be absolutely astounding on offense, and then they could be like a middle school
5
team.
picks.
Exactly. So I have nothing in this game.
Yeah,
if I'm going to lean one way,
me.
I'm just going to lean towards the Virginia Tech pick.
Yeah, maybe I would lean toward Maryland because they impressed me in the games that I definitely thought they were going to lose this year.
Okay.
But again, I have no interest in betting Virginia Tech because the coaching change, and I have no interest in putting my money on Talia,
There we
big
go.
quarterback. So
Perfect. All right.
Two
Cheez-It
left.
Bowl. Yeah. So we got the Cheez-It Bowl. So Clemson goes from powerhouse program to playing in the Cheez-It Bowl against Iowa State on Wednesday, the 29th of December. ACC Big 12 in Florida. 5:45 kick, ESPN. Iowa State's a 1.5-point favorite. The total is 45.5. What do you think here? I don't think you have a lock, do you?
Can't trust any side here.
Nope.
Clemson lost both their coordinators. Dabo's going to do a lot of experimenting with this game, and Iowa State has just not lived up to expectations all year this year. I think they missed their win total by 3 games. Yeah, man, I can't take a team that's lost both their coordinators. I would lean Clemson here because of the defense, but we also know that defense was anchored by Brent Venables, who's now the head coach of Oklahoma. So it's a pretty clear pass for me.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Iowa State because I just don't think Clemson's going to be up for this game because they are playing in the Cheez-It Bowl and not a New Year's Six like they are accustomed to. And Uyunglele I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. So leaning towards Iowa State, which brings us to our last game. Biggest game so far. December 29th, Wednesday, we got the Alamo Bowl. Oregon against Oklahoma, Pac-12, Big 12, San Antonio, Texas. 9:15 kick on ESPN. Oklahoma's the 4.5-point favorite. Totals at 61.5. Do you have a lock here?
Yeah, I'm locking up Oklahoma minus 4.5.
Yep, me too.
There's very few scenarios in which you can say your program won in a coaching search after losing Lincoln Riley. But I think that hire of Brent Venables is a clear win. He's an Oklahoma guy. He knows how to recruit the area, and he's a defensive genius. He's going to come in and make an immediate impact. On top of that, Oregon's lost 2 out of their last 3 games, both to Utah. They missed the playoffs.
They didn't just lose to Utah either.
They got
beat.
beat down by Utah. Yeah. A combined 76 to 17 points over those 2 games in favor of Utah. I just have to fade Oregon also. They lost their head coach to Miami. They
Did they
just
hire
hired
anybody?
Yeah, I forget his name, but they hired somebody, C+ hire, and I just don't see them getting up after getting their heart ripped out and missing out on the playoffs and then losing on the Pac-12 championship. So I'll ride Caleb Williams here. Let's go Oklahoma.
Yeah, everything you
Boomer
said.
Sooner.
Everything you said, and I feel like Oklahoma got better when Spencer Rattler entered the transfer portal. I think he was more of a cancer to that team than anything. Fading Oregon all the way. They look like trash against Utah. You could tell that their spirit was gone now that they're not in the playoff where they thought they should be. And Oklahoma, I think, feels regenerated because when Lincoln Riley left, I think it was him, where he said something about, was it him? Where all right, so he said a quote to the press, and the Oklahoma players actually went on Instagram and said,
that was Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, you said that to us last week.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're glad he's gone, and now they're more pumped up to play. But fade Oregon all the way. Well, there it is. Part 2 is finished. We each got 4 locks. No, you got 5.
Yeah.
Big Country's locks. North Texas +3. Georgia State -4.5. Nevada +5.5. Minnesota -3.5. And then Oklahoma -4.5. I got Georgia State -4.5. So that's with Big Country. The under 44.5 in that Minnesota-West Virginia game. The over 71 in Virginia. And with Big Country again, Oklahoma -4.5. Leans are as follows. North Texas over 54, over 56.5 in Florida UCF, Hawaii +7.5, Nevada +5.5, ECU money line, Auburn under 51, Air Force Louisville under 55.5, Texas Tech Mississippi State over 60, NC State -1, Virginia Tech pick, Iowa State -1.5, and then Big Country's leans is Florida UCF over 56.5, Hawaii plus 7.5, Boston College ECU over 51, Auburn -3, Air Force plus 1.5, Mississippi State -8.5, UCLA plus 1, Virginia -2, Maryland pick, and Clemson plus 1.5. There we go. You like that?
It's been a good bowl season so far.
So far, yes, it has. We do have one last part to this. Part 3 will be coming probably next week again.
Yeah.
And just looking at the schedule for that, I mean, there's a lot of good games. We got you got your New Year's 6, you got your 2 playoff games, and then a bunch of other at-large games there. Peach Bowl, Tennessee, Purdue, that looks like it. So, yeah, we're going to hit those up, but, yeah, that's it for part 2. You got the socials for him?
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at CFP_pod. You can find me at Big Country Bets. You can find Dan at DPost13. Yeah, guys, like, subscribe, find us wherever you stream your podcasts, and share with your friends.
Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I'm good.
Perfect. I'm Dan with Big Country. We'll see you next time for part 3 of the bowl season.